Good morning, everyone. It's an extra, as if you haven't had enough of us already, as if you haven't had enough of me already. It's an extra, it's an additional, it's a bonus. Well, it might be a bonus, it depends if it's a bonus for you, I suppose. It's Saturday, the 11th of July, and this is a 10 a.m. additional, 10 a.m. in the UK, of course, a 10 a.m. additional movement snack, where I'm going to spend a little bit more time on seated options only. Now, I'm aware that it's a busy time of day for many. I'm expecting a few people to join us live, but I'm anticipating that I'm potentially speaking to a greater catcher-upper audience. So I guess I'm presenting the after party today. Leading, informing, discussing, conversing with you. So I think I'm recording an after party, and I may well be speaking to myself for the whole duration, but while I've got this opportunity, I think I'd like to spend a little bit of time explaining why we do these seated only option movement snacks, and perhaps to offer a little bit more information from our perspective at LLT, our thoughts and feelings around seated movement, around seated structured exercise, and where that fits in really in the whole continuum of movement and physical activity. So if that interests you, stay and have a listen. If it doesn't interest you and you just want to get to the movement, by all means scroll through this preamble and get to the point. It's probably going to be a little bit longer than our usual movement snacks today, because the reason that is because when we take movement in seated options, there's a really big focus, significant focus on what's happening in our seated posture. And it may well be that movement is limited in some moving parts or some supporting parts. So there's a thought perhaps that we have less opportunities in sitting to move, or less options perhaps. I'd like to present that that's not strictly the case, and when it comes to moving, we all need to move in seated postures. It's not just about standing stuff, and for many people, of course, seated options are the only option to move. So I really like to focus on the detail. I like to sweat the small stuff, especially even more so in these seated options, because yes, always something is better than nothing. I have this problem with my teeth. But we want to go for more. We want to go for the best possible potential, and realise in ourselves our best possible movement potential. So I'm probably going to be going into a little bit more detail, allowing a little bit more time to really set up postures. I'm just here giving you information. The real benefit is if you just in your own time go back round the movement snack and feel what's happening, and hopefully I can find the words to help you relate to what I'm trying to convey. I'm just trying to see if I've got any comments. I've got a comment issue again today, so I know there's people there, but I can't see who it is. I've got a comment gremlin. So I'm talking in the dark again, as it were. I can see that Kelsey is watching. Hello, Kels. This happened to me earlier in the week, so I'm sorry if I'm not acknowledging, if you're saying hello. I've got a comment. Thank you, Kels. No one wanted to comment. Thanks, Kels. Morning. Please tell us who's out there, and it may be that you're here to join in the movement snack. It may be that you're just here to listen. Maybe that you're supporting other people to move more in seated postures. All relevant. Everyone's welcome. Everyone's invited to this. And when it comes, hello Bob, great to see you. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, I can't see you. I don't know who's on the other side of the screen. And your choices and reasons to move more in seated positions are really wide and varied. There's a whole heap of reasons why you may choose to take up these movement snacks in seated. And I think amongst us, myself, Kels and Dave, in our years of experience working with a whole range of populations, shall we say. We try to offer a little bit of everything for everyone. We all have good days, bad days. Perhaps some days you take the standing option, other days you take the seated, but perhaps actually seated is your maintenance program of activity, and actually seated postures is where you're really looking to progress and increase movement opportunities. So I hope by just doing a seated options one, I can spend a bit more time, maybe give you a bit more information, a few more ideas. We're still on the crowbarring theme. This isn't a structured exercise session. It's not a structured exercise session. Now that's really significant for us at LLT. This is all about movement, opportunities to move. As Kelsey's just said in the comment, movement is universal. It's for everyone. And the more we progress towards structured exercise, actually we coined the phrase, exercise is not a one size fits all. So movement is universal. Structured exercise, it isn't a one size fits all. So we couldn't possibly tackle structured exercise in the way that we do in these movement snacks. There's a very big difference for us between movement and exercise. And I think it's important that we say that, certainly here in the seated option movement snack. So I'm going to give you some movement opportunities, and some of them you may recognise as exercises that you do within a structured format. But in a structured format, they're going to be delivered very differently with a different focus. So in the movement snack today, we're going to move more. We're going to move trunk, we're going to move shoulders, arms, legs. If legs and lower limb are not on your radar, stick with the trunk and the upper limb stuff. And then I'm going to give you things you can do with a cushion and a tea towel to further support your crowbarring. So if you're sat on the sofa or a chair and you can see the cushion right next to you, it's like, I can do something with that. Got 2 minutes in the adverts, I can crowbar something in. Or you might be in the kitchen, see the tea table, spot the tea towel. Okay, I can crowbar in something with that. So with these two everyday props, it increases your crowbarring opportunities. And this is important because this is about movement opportunities, not structured exercise. I'm just going to check out the time. Hang on. I've over-egged the preamble. I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Good morning. My name is Bex Townley from Later Life Training. This is the additional seated only options movement snack. It's about movement, accumulating additional movement minutes. And in the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to focus purely on how you can optimize your seated postures, how you can optimize your everyday activities, daily life, from a chair. And it may be that you have no option to progress out of the chair, or it may be that you do. So I still will cover some ankles, feet and toes and some lower limb options for those of you that are ultimately looking to progress out of a chair. Great to see you, Jane. Great to have this slot. Wheelchair user with very little leg mobility can just do the circ boost. Thank you for saying that, Jane. I was just mentioning before that there's a whole heap of reasons why people may be choosing to do the seated options. So I'd like to spend a little bit more time. Yes, we're in sit. For some people, the stand option isn't on the radar. For others, it is. So I'm still going to try and give a mix there. But I want to give more stuff around trunk, upper limb, buttocks. Ready, steady, go. Oops, hello. Come on. Hoping you can see here. So here we have sturdy chair, and I've got a suggestion of some arms in this chair. And possibly in your home you'll have hard chairs, perhaps without arms, perhaps some armchairs with arms, and each of those chairs offer different opportunities to move and access some functional strength activity. So have a look at all of these, and the idea is you you take the ones take the ones that can work for you. So have a look round. If I get to a movement that isn't right for you, just ignore it. I'm not suggesting you follow me. I'm suggesting you have a look, join in, have a feel, and decide if these movements are going to be on your radar for you to crowbar in. Let's start with the circulation boost. So from sit position, everyone just have a complete switch off. You very rarely hear us say that in a movement snack. Go on, have a switch off, and you can feel that when we completely switch off, I mean physically, not mentally, none of the posture muscles are active. The chair is doing all the work. The chair is supporting us. That's what chairs do, right? So let's work through bit by bit. Either join in or have a think, have a listen, and go back round later, see what you think. Now, I want to get in an active sitting position. So if I put hands to arms of chair, this may mean some adjustment at feet. So it may mean bringing the feet back. Well, that may not be an option. Here's the first critical thing. Activate center, grow, grow, grow. Kind of unravel, unwind, and lengthen. Hands on the arms of the chair can give me a little bit more support to do that. Or you may feel you need a little bit more, even more. So it may be that actually pushing through to the arms assists and supports you to sit upright. Either or, the outcome is we want to be in this position. Now from here, just take a moment to feel how that is for you. I'm going to move it on quickly in this movement snack, but in general, if you can take this active sit position frequently throughout the day, whether you're at work and sat or relaxing, it's just the first step in kind of being more active and moving a little bit more than we normally do. So this alone is such a valuable posture to think about and crowbar into your day. With the hands on the side of the chair, if you're not already, here's the next critical movement. It's a weight shift. And if lower limb is available for you to movement, then the legs are going to come with you with that. Or they may be fixed. Either way, what I'm looking for is for you to progress your buttocks forward in the chair. Certainly, if you're going to include some leg and ankles, feet and toes, this foot position is going to be significant. If not, if your feet are fixed, the next thing is to sit tall even more, and we grow between the top of the hip and the first rib. Take a breath. All right, now that's how mindful we can be about setting up the posture. You know, there's a lot of points in there. And it may be that you could just sit taller and arrive in this position without any undue concern or thought. If so, go for it. But if not, if you spend a lot of time in a chair and a lot of time not moving, it's usual for that to feel quite effortful. So here you can see I'm maintaining that upward posture, but I'm bringing in this arm march, this circulation boost march. The elbows slightly relaxed, we're freely moving at the shoulder. That could be either single arms like so, or double. So we're thinking about the moving parts through the shoulder, but we're equally, even more so in seated options for being more active. This position is critical, and it may well be that after a while you feel you start to sag and tire. That's usual as well. You may even feel that you want to take a full-on, what we call, pit stop. Just breaking up that kind of inactive sit position is so valuable to our physiology throughout the day. So let's do that one more time. Sit tall, lengthen, 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 high up on the sit bones. Take the hip walk, the lift and shift, and then just select what's the best option for circ boost for you. Do you want to do it single arms, or do you want to bring them together? It's rhythmical, it's your pace. After you've done a few, can you feel, you can see the logo on my t-shirt kind of rolling, can't you, from side to side. This suggests, doesn't it, that my trunk is also moving, and I want that. So if I fix the trunk, can you see now my logo's not moving so much, and here it moves a little bit more. So I'm starting to bring in this coordinated movement. So in daily life, if we were to turn and reach, we would have a little bit of that trunk rotation in it. So the trunk must be involved. We've got to involve this stuff. It can't just be about arms in seated options. This is critical. It connects us to our buttocks, it connects us to our shoulders, and don't forget, it's the back. It's everything about how we move upper body. Let me just put in a little bit of lower limb circulation boost. So either stay on the upper limb circ boost, remain on this one if you would like. You might want to take a variation and take this one. If you're going to stay on upper body, then just change the movement here and then mix that up with some circ boost here. Down at ankles, feet and toes, take up support on the side. And as always, you'll be familiar with this in all of our movement snacks. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. It's heels off first, toes off last. Toes down first, heels down last. So if we're going to be marching in a chair, it's driven from the ankles, not flat feet. You may want to take toes only. That might be a start option for you, or you may want to take heels. And it may be that bringing all that together may be an ultimate aim for you. Now, just to say here, when arms and legs move together, I need a lot of activity and a lot of strength to hold me upright. So if at any time you feel you start to sag and shrink in the middle, that probably means have a pause, have a pit stop, give these muscles time to recover a little bit, and then they'll go again for you. Muscles are like that. They just need a bit of a breather, and then they'll go again for you. All right, so that's our circulation boost. Now at the end of that, you should feel more activated through the centre and the need for a deeper breath, especially if you've included the legs with that. Raising heart rate and getting a little bit more breathless is certainly more challenging when we're just using the smaller muscles of the arms. And that's why bringing in the trunk is so important, because all of that additional movement can contribute to a more successful circulation boost. Circ boost done. Okay, moving on to the first movement. Remember, this is functional movement that is already in your life somewhere. We're looking to optimize that. So you may feel, if you're tired in the middle, have a pit stop. Just have a relax and release. In daily life, the posture muscles need a rest. We can't stay active the whole day. So take your time with that. And then build. Unravel, lengthen. Weight even across the buttocks. I've called this one open arms and off with your shirt. We have a bit of a thing here in the movement snacks. A few catchphrases. Maybe if we can give these movements catchy names, it might help with your crowbar. So this is called open arms and off with your shirt, but don't take off your shirt. Here we go. Lift and lengthen tall, and as if you're holding a tray in front of you here, palms are up, elbows are tucked in, and we're looking to open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. There, take a deep breath in, and then close, stay upright. Watch what happens with my hands, support the hands, and then take a deep breath again. Here and here. So there are two moves, really functional. This is everything around dressing, getting undressed, just daily life. Let's try again. Lift and open, elbows tucked in, palms up. Now each time you do it, can you get even more range of movement? And most importantly, find your breath, but it might work to go. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Your pace, not my pace. Do one without me. Go on, you don't need me. feel it without me. Go on, just feel your way around that movement. Stay high up on the sit bones. Keep the palms open, squeeze your shoulder blades, like your sternum is it's taking you forwards. There's the open arms, there's the close, and here's the off with your shirt. Now each time, can you feel a little bit higher, especially this one here? This is everything around functional reach. And can you feel the extension in the trunk? Extension in the trunk, so important if we live our lives in seated positions. So get the trunk to work for you. If you can get to here, that would be great. I'm going to use 3 words. I'm going to say better, best, bingo. So what's a better range of movement? What's your best range of movement? And then can you hit the bingo? What's your bingo? Bingo range of movement. So grade your feelings of that range of motion. Better, best, bingo. How is that for you? It could be good, better, best, but you know, over time this will improve. So is it a better? Is it your best one, but is it the bingo one? Is it the one where you properly hit the mark? Now take a pause and a rest after that one. Hip walk back, hip walk back, hip walk back. We're going to have a change of focus. So we've just done quite a lot of trunk, quite a lot of extension, and quite a lot of back squeezy stuff. Take a pause, have a switch off, give the posture muscles time to rest and recover. Now, pacing yourselves with this stuff is really significant. It makes the difference between better, best and bingo, doesn't it? So just the switch offs, the recoveries are as important. Let's sit tall, unravel, unravel. Take the hip walk forward, shift, shift, shift. Is the next one. We're going to take a hip hinge, so change of focus now. Sit tall up high on the sit bones, anchor the feet, anchor the buttocks. Now if you don't have feet, if lower limb is not an option for you, your buttocks are going to have to work much, much harder, perhaps. Lengthen and hands on the thighs here, just take a hinge and return back. My buttocks are doing the work. I'm going to turn slightly sideways so you can see, if I may, can you see? Yeah, so this is a slump, and when we slump, can you see I get a curvy bit here? What we're trying to achieve is a tilt and a lift and an up, and with that comes this straighter position. That now means when I take this position, I can hinge forward on a straight back. Can you see this? Now the arms here can support that. Tummy muscles are working to hold us upright. The back muscles are working to hold us upright, and our buttocks are working as the anchor. Can you maintain that straight back position? Can you maintain from your anchor this hinge? And can you see the arms give it away really of the movement here? So the arms really, this could work if you put yourself in front of a mirror. I know there's many reasons why that may or may not be beneficial, but if you can't see yourself in a mirror, can you kind of see what's happening? It gives you an indication of that range of motion that you have. Now my arms aren't doing the work, but they can do if I need them to. And actually here's the trick here. This is everything about mindful movement, because I can either get my back muscles and buttocks to do this for me, or I can turn it into a little bit of activity in the arms. And you can change that, you can affect that if you're feeling what's going on. I'm rambling, I'm getting all excited. Let's get back to the point. So here we go, this is hip hinge. Now this hip hinge, as we know, if I bring my heels back and down, can progress to a jockey lift. Let me come back right way around in the chair. So we can continue that movement, bring the heels back and down, and that hip hinge can progress us. If standing activity is on your radar, we can push the heels in, we can lift the buttocks off, and we can use these arms to support that with the hinge, with the hip hinge. Or here's another option. I'm all about the options and choices. Heels back and down. Hands on here again, lengthen tall, loads of activity, and lean into the hip hinge. So you've got the hip hinge here. Now, if ankles, feet and toes and lower limb are on your radar, you can take a heel raise. And can you feel what you've done here is give yourself a little bit more resistance. So I've still got my straight back position. I'm not sagged or shrunk or squeezed. My arms are supported, I've got some grip and activity going on in wrists and hands, and I can take a heel raise here. And what I've done is given my calves a little bit more resistance. Now, lower limbs not on your radar. Here's what we're going to go for. Lift and lengthen. Diagonal reach and grab, all about the trunk, all about the shoulders, all about function of arms. Here we go. So lift tall and imagine you've got like a diagonal ladder zigzagging around you. And we're going to reach across, take the grab and take the pull and return. Reach across, take the grab and take the pull. And each time, here we go again with the better best bingo. How high can you climb that ladder? How high? So each time you turn and cross, you're going a little bit higher, And can you see the work of the trunk? There. I'm staying upright, I'm just rotating and reaching. And what I have is this type of activity. There. And you can see how much the trunk is working with that. I'm going to do a close-up on the grab. Here's some extra stuff for grab and shoulders. So this movement here is really significant in daily life for reach, grab and pull. So if that's too much to think about, if you're still getting your head around trunk, buttocks, it might just look like a press. It might just look like this. But going for the actual, optimize everything. Reach, grab and pull, using the buttocks. Okay, take a pause, have a release in the middle. The switch offs, the recoveries are as significant. If you're doing if you're thinking more about movement and taking a few minutes in your day to think about your active sitting, to think about your shoulder and your back position, do make sure you have those recoveries and the pit stops in there. It's what we need for each movement to be successful. So switch off, rebuild, and then go again. Let's just put in an extra little bit of this. And can we go bigger? Not faster, but bigger, with a little bit more turn and reach. And focus on the backward press here. If you would like to, you can put in some lower limb as well from the ankles, feet and toes. Now I have got a leg section, a lower limb section. Just before I go into that lower limb section, here's the upper limb option. We're moving into kind of knees, front thigh, back thigh. So lower limb's not there. We're going to focus more on the opportunities for back arm, back shoulder, functional strength. So your seated option here is, if you can, bring a buttock squeeze with it. Elbows are close, hands are close, and it's a little raise. So you're taking the weight off your buttocks, albeit through your arms. Now, if you're a wheelchair user, you're going to be really strong already in upper body and shoulders. Just here, just being more mindful of what's happening with the posture with that. And can you spend a little bit more time lowering down a little bit slower than you normally do, tuck the elbows in. And you might want to mix that up with some extensions and reach. So to change the movements in between each one. And stringing together a series of movements can also bring us perhaps a little bit more increase in the circulatory, in the heart rate. So we could take 2 of those, perhaps a couple of reaches, bring those together, and if you make that a rhythmical action, you're going to get a little bit of heart rate increase with that. Here's the leg option. Come back into a little bit more back past centre. Knees in threes. Knees in threes. Here we go. So sitting tall, hip width on the feet. We're going to work. Put your hands on the thighs again. I want you to feel what happens to the muscles here when we slowly extend the knee, like so. And as the leg comes up, you'll feel this muscle here firm. Then we lower the leg to here, and then we just slide it back behind. So you're just taking an extra bend on the behind. So you're taking both directions of that knee bend. Here we go. So we're coming out for the extend. Can you feel the muscle here? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Relax the foot. Lower it slower, lower it slower, lower it slower, lower it slower. Bring it back to the centre point, and then can you draw it back a bit? So we've got a back knee bend as well, and then return. Same on the other side, just have a feel. How is the range of motion on the extension? Can you feel the thighs working? Bring it back as well. So we're thinking about knees, range of motion, and the muscles around the front and the back of the knees. Okay, so that's knees in threes or the chair press. Now, what I'd now like to do is give you some options, things you can do, 3 things you can do with a tea towel. And this is to support crowbarring throughout the day. Sit tall, optimise every opportunity to sit tall, and take your tea towel like so and just roll it into something that looks like this. Okay, so just give it some width there. In the beginning of the movement snack, we prepared for this one with the open arms and off with your shirt. So we've got the shoulders and the upper back ready for this. A tea towel can offer us a little bit of resistance, and we're going to get some grip strength here, some wrist strength, but also a little bit of resistance through the muscles in the upper back for our pulling activities and posture. So adopt this palm up position and scoop up your tea towel like so. Can you see? I'm here. And just give it a squeeze. Can you see when I hold this, my wrists are firm here. I'm aiming for this position. I'm wanting a firm wrist. And just can you feel that you can control how much resistance when you pull it apart? And currently I'm about the same width as my trunk there. My elbows are tucked in. Put a little bit of resistance through there, so you've already got some grip going on. And then think about where your belly button is, and then draw that back towards you. Elbows come back, shoulder blades squeeze together. Return, and I'm going to say put it down and release, and just bend the wrists the other way. Start each movement with a clear start, middle and end, and then take a pit stop and go again. So while you're in the kitchen, while you're waiting, while you might have a telly in the kitchen, you might be reading a book, I don't know, but you're going to have one of these in the kitchen, I think. So break up your sedentary time, sit up tall, give it a squeeze, pull it back there, and release, and just switch off, release the fingers on the grip, and just take a few of those, and you just crowbar those into your day. I'm just going to turn round sideways so you can see what's going on. There, there. And my shoulder blades are squeezing behind me, there. All this does, it gives a little bit of resistance, and can you feel just by pulling that apart, you've got some extra work in the wrists and hands also. So everyday functional grip strength is in there, wrist strength is in there, posture's in there, and we're looking to add a little bit more strength to the upper back muscles for all of our pulling activities. What else can we do with the tea towel? Oh, there's just one other option. Depending how long the tea towel is, we can be a little bit even more clever. So if you do this, if you just loop it like so, what you then get is a big saggy knot. what I can then do is pull that tight, so then I get some movement with that. Then is the additional functional task of undoing the knot. Ta-da! Let me show you that again. Here's your tea towel. Go for a loose knot, set up the position. So I've got my ends and I've currently got a saggy knot up tall, and then I can pull that tighter and come back at the same time. And what I then get is some movement as I pull the knot. Then I have the opportunity for fingers, or the movement Kelsey did with her lumbricals here. So lots of grip and pull there. There's something else we can do with a tea towel that involves the outer thigh. Here we go. So feet and knees together. A little bit wider for this one, maybe this, and rest it across the thighs here. And this offers me, again, a little bit more resistance. Have a look at the feet. So I'm going to take the knees together and the feet a little bit further apart. And then I'm going to press out like so, but I can allow the legs to slide out like so. If you have something slightly longer, you have some other opportunities. So here, I can adopt that same position, and now I can press and allow that to come back. Then I pause, set it up again. There's that upper back position. There's the grip, anchor the feet. I press the knees out, and now I can use my hands to resist that to come back. So I've got some work going on both ends. Make sure you completely relax after each one. There's another option. Three things I'd like to show you what you can do with a cushion. Are you ready? The first one is our ankle strengthener. We've done this one before. Just place the cushion between the knees like so. Angle the toes forward. And then the cushion just supports the knees and makes sure that the legs are in the optimum position. I'm going to slide the toes out and up, and then in and up. So I've got my outer and my inner. So I'm working the muscles in the outside and the inside of the ankles here. Now you could technically do that without the cushion. Great one to do just while you're sat. If you just put the hands in between the knees here, this keeps the knees firm, then you can work on your ankle strength. And this is everything around walking on uneven surfaces, strengthening the ankles in a whole manner or range of directions. The cushion can also be used, depending on the firmness of the cushion and how we give it a squeeze, we can just generate more muscle activity. So I could take it like so. I could squeeze and push it together. So I've got this going on. Lift and squeeze. And then when you squeeze and bring the elbows down, you'll feel the muscles in the side of the trunk starting to engage here. So we can start here. Breathe out, squeeze. There. So this is everything about functional lifting. If I need to carry something that's a little bit heavy, I need to bring it close to my body, and I need to bring the elbows in, and I need to hold and sustain, holding the object close here. So this is just, again, it's a smooth, fluid movement of a squeeze. You can grade the activity. Take a deep breath in, squeeze. There. And as I take this movement, I can feel the muscles here, and I can just contract my center and relax. And the cushion just offers me, it replaces objects of everyday life, but I can be more mindful. Squeeze and contract. Stop after every one. We could do the same with inner thigh. Here's on my list of things you can do with the cushion. You could also just lay on it and go to sleep, but that's not covered in this movement snack. Anchor the feet, we can take our buttock squeeze, and with the buttock squeeze, you can squeeze the cushion and release after every one. You could crowbar that in. So if you know you've been sat for a little bit long, you can take a little bit of fluid arm circ boost and then take some buttock squeezes along with some cushion squeezes. I've got one more thing I want to crowbar in. If lower limbs on your radar, so if you are looking to progress out of the chair into stand activities, this one might be right for you. Depending on what type of floor surface you have, depends on how many options you have for this one. So have a look. I'm hip walk forward. My cushion is in this position. All I'm then going to do is just relax the cushion and allow it to come to this position here. Then I'm going to extend the knee and the cushion falls. So I have 1 foot on the cushion, 1 foot on the floor, hands on the chair. By having this cushion under 1 foot, I can feel something squashy. I can feel it's different. And I can start to, with my hands here, buttocks in, I can start to focus on pressing down into that leg. And can you feel your buttock working? And your hip hinge is going to come in here. So we can add some resistance, press down into the cushion, squeeze the buttock and just start to get more muscle activity here. Here's the beauty of this one. When I step off the cushion, I can hip hinge, I can use the support and I can pick up the object. And I can start again on the other side. I can extend the knee, cushion goes down. I can then work on my squeezes, so squeeze through the cushion. Take that opportunity to bring all those movements together. We can start to focus on left leg and right leg. You may have one leg that's stronger or weaker than the other. So we just start to feel how we can contribute to our standing activities. We can step off the cushion, we can lift or hip hinge and then pick up the object. I think that's everything I had for you. Quite a lot in there, quite a lot. No, just remember these are options. These are movements that you can make more of in your day or less of. It's not a structured exercise session, that's something very different. So you'll be choosing seated options for a whole range of reasons. Some that will involve legs, some that won't. But there's some fundamentals in there, and that is the posture control, the posture strength, upper limb activities. I think we covered pretty much every functional range of motion there today. Go back round and have a look. Just pick one or pick two. Build them into your day over time. It's here for you to go back on. No one's suggesting that you kind of go, oh my goodness, what do I do with all that stuff? Next time you see a cushion, do something with it. Next time you see a tea towel, give it a whirl. I hope that was helpful. We'll do some more of these. We've got lots of things in the pipeline. Ideas, plant some seeds, ask us questions, tell us how that went for you. Keep reporting back. We need to know what you think. And crikey, I'll see you in an hour on the usual movement snack. Thank you very much, folks. See you at 12 or see Couse at 4 or just have a great Saturday. Keep on crowbarring. Thanks very much for tuning in, folks. Bye for now.